We are back with the second group of the pre-event press conference. We are joined by aspas, Crws, Sayf, and FengF. Please use the Zoom hand raise function if you'd like to ask a question, and then we'll call on you. We'll start with Tong Tong from Billy Billy.
Hi, Aspas. This question is for you. And there's no doubt that you're the most competitive player in the world at the moment. Also, we could see Calm and Mazzino have put out insane performance in the final. I just wondering, what do you think you guys beat? What do you think you made you guys beat G2 in the final?
I think for the finals, we played our game. That was something that we didn't do the first time that we played. And on the upper finals, we played a more like scared type of gameplay. Normally, we play more aggressive type of gameplay. And in the grand finals, we played the way that we normally play.
Thank you. We'll go next to Raquel.
Oi, aspas, aqui é a Raquel. Não sei se acho que é boa tarde para vocês aí. Você está indo aí para o seu Champions, né? Que você pode conseguir ser bicampeão e vocês vão jogar contra a Talon, que tem o Premier, que é um jogador que está sendo muito falado aí, que ele é como se fosse um novo aspas, né? E aí eu queria saber como é que você está se sentindo para esse primeiro jogo de enfrentar um jogador que parece ser bem promissor, como você foi no seu início ali, quando você começou a jogar Valorant.
Tô bem animado para essa partida, vai ser um jogo muito legal. Eu vi um pouquinho do jogo dele, porque eu gosto bastante de ver vídeos de highlight, essas coisas, e eu vi um pouquinho do jogo dele nas rankeds, e ele parece ser um jogador muito bom, e eu adoro jogar contra players bons, e ele também vem da ranked, igual eu vim, então tô bem animado para essa partida.
Thank you. We'll go next to Ravish.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Quick question for Aspas as well too. I find you've been at the top of the list for everybody as a duelist that that's someone who you can that they can't really take in a 1v1. Now, on your end, do you find there's someone you think I might have some trouble here, or it'll just come down to the day of on who you end up facing?
Depends a little bit on like the situation that I am in on the 1v1, because there are some times that you are playing a 1v1 and you are in disadvantage and things like that. But depending on the situation, I am confident on myself, because I think like confidence in this game is the most important thing that you need to have.
Cheers. Thanks, man.
Thank you. We have a pre-submitted question for Crws. Crws, this is from the Valorant competitive community. How have you dealt with the mental fatigue that formed from the season's general scheduling and recently integrating Premi and preparing for champs?
It's been very tough for the past the whole season basically, and we've made many changes. So during the time we put Premi in the roster, we didn't have a lot of time, so we didn't really get to show much. But I think they tried to give us quite some time already, but because of the changes we decided to make ourselves, it kind of put us in like a bad spot at that time. So I think that's all. It's not the schedule from them that causes like, all the troubles.
Thank you. Sayf, we're coming to you next. This is also from the Valorant competitive community. I remember in the past you said you didn't want to play duelists and you played sentinels for the whole first split. In the second split, you became the main duelist of the team. Was it your own wish or the coaches? And on which role do you think you can bring more impact to the team?
I mean, I don't really know. We had some coaching changes, I guess, halfway in, and it wasn't really something I thought about. I mean, role-wise, for me, it's not that important whether it's Sentinel or Duelist or whatever it is. I just think it matters what the team wants kind of at the time, and I was asked to play it again because they felt like the roles fit a lot more. And It's not saying that my Sentinel is bad, guys. That's not what we're saying. Okay, my Sentinel is okay, to say the least. But obviously on Duelist, I have a lot more impact, and I think it was a joint decision on that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Alan, we'll come to you with the next question.
Okay, thank you. So this is a question for FengFeng. I'll deliver the question first in English. So for FengFeng, for Trace Esports, this is a group full of debut. So apart from Leviathan, for Vitality, for Talon, there's a lot of rookie who come out this season and have their debut in the international event. So I don't know. Do you think that in this group of rookies, do you think that your team and maybe including yourself could perform better than them? 所以这个问题给到峰峰啊，你就用中文提问就回答我就好了。然后我是 Alan， 对，然后那个其实想问的是，因为我们这个小组里面其实有非常多的新人，然后除了可能 Leviathan 的选手可能会经验比较足以外，然后其实其他的这边包括你旁边的像 Sayf Vitality， 然后包括像塔隆，他们也有很多的新人，像 Premi。对吧？亚服第一的新人，那你觉得你们队伍也有非常多的选手，虽然你们打了很久，但你们其实第一次来到国际比赛。那你觉得这种情况之下，你们会有什么样的办法，或者有什么样的一些你们的优势能够表现的比他们更好呢？
我觉得我们的优势就是像我们这个班底已经打了很久了嘛，我们的优势我感觉就是磨合的时间，然后要比他们更久一点，然后化学反应要比他们更好一点。
好的，谢谢。So the answer from Fengfeng is actually they think that their advantage is they have been together for a longer time compared to maybe Vitality, maybe Talon, and therefore they think they have better chemistry. They can put up better teamwork. So they think that is their advantage in this group. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alan. We're going to go next to Pedro Romero.
Hey guys, good to see y'all for this press conference. I got a question for Crws. Fair to say it's been more than a minute since we've last seen you qualify for an international event. The previous time being Champs 2022. Back then when you were with Shersha. I just want to ask you now that you're back in this stage with a different team, a different set of guys surrounding you. How do you kind of compare your experience from back then to now, and what do you think is one thing that stood out for you amidst this progression for you in particular between set times?
Definitely my experience against the NA and EU styles, because having Frost coming in as our coach, the way we play the game is very different, and the way we approach the game is completely different to when I was in Xerxia. So I think that's how we've been growing as a team and as a player, as myself, as the IGL, knowing how to deal with a lot of the things that might come at me in this group. So yeah, that's how I think we grew from the experience we had this year.
Thank you so much. We'll go next to Elaine from One Esports.
Hi, this question is for Crws. Going into your first match against Lev, do you guys feel any pressure at all? And how does it feel facing America's first seed?
I'm actually very excited to play against Lev because we just got Primi, and I think he's going to put up a good fight against aspas, which everyone knows that he's a very good duelist. Even I know, and everyone is saying that he's the best player in the world, which I also do agree. But it's good for us to see where we are and to have him get the best experience as much as possible for his first international and his first game. So I feel like it's going to be a very fun game. It's going to be a good experience for all of us as a team, and hopefully we come out on top.
Awesome. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go next to Tong Tong from Bilibili.
这个问题想问一下，峰选手啊，峰你好，我们在小组赛阶段的第一轮对手就是 EMA 的2号种子小蜜蜂，那么他们在本赛季的状态啊，可以说是一路高歌猛进，挺进到决赛了。然后咱们第一次来到冠军赛的舞台呢，可以说咱们的目标以及认为目前最需要准备的是哪些方面，无论是精神上还是游戏内容上的。
我们的目标依旧是我们之前在 CN 的时候的赛季宣言，就是记好每一次停，然后瞄好每一次准，然后赢下每一个小局。然后我觉得做游戏内的准备，就是我觉得还是打好我们训练赛里的东西吧。然后只要是能打出我们训练赛里的东西，其实就可以。
The question for Feng is actually in the group stage, your first opponent is Vitality, is a super like high status, especially in EMEA region. And actually they also qualified for the grand finals in EMEA region. And this time is your debut, and what kind of preparation you think you have to done, and no matter in the mentality or in the tactics, and also what's your goal? And Feng said, I think our goal is the same as in the domestic competition tournament. And I think we just need to like have a better counter strapping and have a better aiming and winning every single round and stuff like that. And we just want to play our own stuff, our decent job. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Fernando at Game Arena.
Thank you. So my question goes for Aspas. Aspas, vocês tiveram um desempenho abaixo da expectativa em Xangai, voltaram para o Américas, foram campeões. Quero saber qual que é a diferença que você enxerga da Leviatã que se apresentou em Xangai e da Leviatã que se apresenta hoje para o Champions em Seul.
Eu acho que uma grande diferença que dá para apontar é o fato que agora os nossos fundamentos básicos estão muito melhores do que antes. Depois de Xangai, a gente teve uma grande melhora e os fundamentos básicos são a coisa mais evidente nisso, e eu acho que isso era algo muito importante, tanto que nas entrevistas que o nosso time dava, todos nós apontava esse fato que a gente tinha problemas com isso, e eu acho que essa foi a grande melhora que foi muito importante e que fez a gente conseguir melhorar bastante como um time.
Obrigado. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go next to Tong Duong.
Hello. My question to Sayf from Vitality. After your last performance in the big stage in Champion 2023, what do you think about your chance to qualify into a playoff with your team? Thank you so much.
I think chances are good, but only because I don't think we think of playoffs or groups, or we don't generally think of like the long term of things. I think us as a team is like we like to treat everything very in the now, very present. We don't really think about like I guess the TE game or the game after that, or what happens when we get to playoffs, or what happens if we don't make groups. It doesn't really matter for us as a team. So I mean, in terms of odds, I would say they're good, but only because we're not thinking that far. We're thinking what comes first, and that's obviously TE.
Thank you so much. We'll take the next question from Strafe Esports.
Thanks. So, my question is for Feng. So, this is the first international outing for the team. So, how is the atmosphere in the team? And also, apart from the teams in this group, are there any teams that you want to face in Seoul?
那这个问题想问到的是峰选手，这次是你们第一次来到全球冠军赛嘛？然后想问一下，这次来到冠军赛，你最想要，就是你个人角度，或者说是整个队伍的角度，你最想遇到的是谁呢？
我个人的话应该是 Dirk 吧，因为很早的时候就是经常看他的一些比赛嘛，然后我就觉得他打得特别好。
He said he really want to face against Dirker. He think Dirker is a super powerful players, and he also watched a lot of his competition in the pretty early days. So yeah, he think he's a super great player, and he's super willing to have a match with him.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. We'll go next to Arnab.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, am I audible?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, my question is for Safe. I want to ask you about at the start of the season when you guys came into India during Convergence, you had not a great start to the season, but it was pretty dominant. But you all had, when I had chat with you during the event, you all had one thing in mind that slowly and steadily you guys are trying to grow. Reflecting upon from the start of the season to the end, almost to the end of the season. How do you think the team has grown individually and personally, you as well, compared to last season to this season?
I mean, I think we've grown a lot as individuals and as a team. I think we worked with a lot of people along the way in terms of like people in coaching staff, and whether that's mental or just the assistant coaches, and the interactions we've had with each other, I think, and the matches we've had as well have like really formed all of us in a good way, in a positive way. We learned more about how to approach each other and how to deal with conflicts. We learned a lot about the small things that upset each other and how to avoid those small things. And I think it's nice to have like a very let's say like this time throughout the year, like having defeats and having upsets and having whatever we went through together, because it's really formed every single person to the people they are today. And obviously we're in champs for a reason, and I think all of the lessons have led up to this. So in terms of development, I think it's pretty good for all of us.
Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you. We have a question from the room next.
Okay, this question is for Aspas. You are the top one of the list of the entry kill, and I just want to ask, how's your feeling about that, and what's your expectation about the whole journey of champs?
If I would like say something, is that we're gonna like look at one game at a time. So we're gonna go by steps. So first we are looking at Talon. So and like we as a team are just preparing to play against Talon. So I'm not looking at the tournament as a whole, but I'm looking at steps that you need to take. So you go one step at a time so you can reach your goal.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go next to WoW Esports.
你好，这里是旺财电竞。想问一下 aspas，其实，在季后赛利维特的状态是有所回暖的，包括 com 的发挥呢也是非常亮眼。想问一下，队伍是做了一个怎样的改变或者调整，以及最期待和冠军赛哪个选手进行交手？
The question is for Aspas. Actually, we can notice that Leviton have a better perform and better status in recent days, and especially like Coms or Mazzino or any players in your whole team. And I just want to know like what kind of adjustment you made and which team or which like specific pro players you want to meet in this tournament.
I agree with the part that we made an improvement as a team. As I said in a question before, I think we are a lot better in the fundamentals, like the basic stuff of the game. So we made a very big improvement in this part. So we are playing better as a team than before. And a player that I want to face, I always say Jing because I like him. So Jing.
Aspa 的回答是他非常认同他们最近状态有所回暖，就是他们包括他们最近一直在苦练基本盘啊那些的操作，所以他觉得他们最近状态提升了很多，包括他们也就是在各种方面进步了很多。那提到他最想面对到的选手的话，他可能比较想要和净选手交手，因为他很喜欢净选手。
Thank you. We'll go next to Antonio Romero.
Yes, thank you. My question is for Sayf. You are the only player with experience in Valorant Champions from last year with Team Liquid. Do you think this is going to be helpful for your team? And how would you manage to share your experience with your teammates?
I mean, if it's going to be helpful, I don't know. I can't answer that really, but I think that obviously you gotta let people experience it themselves, and then you can warn them about the things that may or may not happen. But at the end of the day, it's something that they have to take on themselves, whether it feels overwhelming or whether there's too much going on, too stressful, or you get sick or you get jet lagged. I warn them about all these things and I tell them what could happen. But yeah, I mean, obviously it would help a little, but at the end of the day, they gotta face things on their own.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Nerditude.
Thank you so much. My question is for Aspas. what can we expect from Levitan in this year's match against Talon? Do you think they will have a boost from playing at home?
You can expect a very good match. They're a really good opponent. Probably it's gonna be a 2-1 series can be for each team, and it's gonna be a really good match. So you can have high hopes.
Thank you. We'll go to Sky Key next.
Okay, so 这个问题想要问一下峰峰，就是首先，因为你们这一组的队伍其实都是世界范围内比较有名的决斗位，比如说像 aspas。那么在你自己的第一次世界赛上，尤其是在自己个人决斗位对位的表现上，会有怎样的信心和预期？就你会认为这次比赛是你自己的炸弹魅雷兹在世界上的一个水平检测吗？
觉得算是吧，因为我这组的像 CF、阿斯帕斯他们的就是决斗位都特别厉害嘛，然后我就一直在想，能不能跟他们交一次手，看看我的水平到底怎么样。我觉得这是一次机会。
The question is, in your group, like there is so many famous duelists around the whole world, and actually this is your debut on the international tournament, and obviously you played the same role, like the duelist role in your team, and you're confident about to have like the same competition, like the role and with your opponents, and what's your expectation about your performance? Do you think it's kind of like a test of your race? And Fengfeng's answer is, I think it's kind of, because Sayf and aspas, they're super great duelists around the whole world, and I think they're super like have prowess or something stuff like that, and I really want to like have a match with them, and I'm super looking forward to it as well. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go next to Alan.
Yeah, thank you. This is a question for Sayf. So I remember Sayf. Hi. I remember that saw a clip of you in your stream talking about maybe you're a little bit frustrated or a little bit burnt out in the whole season, right? And maybe you're talking about that you are hesitant to about your career or role in this team. But I know that's a long time ago. Like you in your stream, you're talking about that, but does things change now? Like you revitalized, rejuvenated after the split 2, and you feel that you are still well enough to continue your whole career?
I mean, I feel a little rested, let's say. I only had 3 days, so I don't know how rested I can be after finishing the playoffs and whatever. But obviously, I mean, it's been very rough for me. It's been very heavy, and it's not only because of in-game things. I mean, obviously, we all have a life behind the game as well, and we have things going on, whether that's with the family or friends, and just personal things. Obviously, I had someone very close to me pass away as well, and that was ticking on me as well when we were playing so intensively. But obviously, I mean, after qualifying to champs and trying to push through, like the things that were going on, I do feel slightly more rested, but I can't say that it's not weighing over me still.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll go next to Pedro Romero.
Yes, got a question for aspas. Given what Crws said about Primi earlier on in the press conference, I'm kind of curious on how you kind of view Primi given his fast ascent to this stage, having played 3 matches in Tier 1 this year to qualify for champions. For you, how do you kind of look at Primi as a player, and how do you kind of view his current form and also his potential, later down the line, within and also out beyond champions?
He's a really good player. I watched a little bit of clips of him playing ranked, highlights, and those things, and he looks like a really good player. And he's coming from ranked as well. When I started playing, I got picked up from ranked as well, so we come from the same place, and he looks really good.
Thank you. We'll take 2 more questions. Elaine from One Esports.
Hi, this question is for Aspas. Going into the tournament being deemed as the GOAT and best duelist in the world, does this title add more pressure to you, or does this boost your confidence for future matches?
A little bit hard to say because I don't like to look much at those things that are like outside. I like to focus more on myself and my team. So if I would like look more at those things, I probably would say that it's like a confidence boost. At least for me, it would be. But there's people that can see as more pressure as well.
I see. Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you. And we'll give the final question to Strafe Esports.
Thank you. So this question is also for Aspas. So the top seeds from the other leagues have mentioned that, playing so many games coming up to the finals causes a bit of some stress and a bit of mental wear as well. So I would like to ask, how do you guys as a team deal with this, or do you even face these kinds of issues?
In America's playoffs, we played 4 days in a row, and it was 2 MD5s that went one for 5 maps and the other one for 4. You get like a lot tired during those days, but for me, saying myself, I love playing and I love being on stage. So even if I'm super tired, I'm happy by being there. So at least for me, it's not a problem, but like I'm tired, but even like that, I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm really happy to be able to like play more games.
All right. Thank you so much, and all the best to all of you for your upcoming matches.
To the players on the set, thank you so much for taking the time to answer our questions today. This will conclude the press conference, and we'll be back with the next group momentarily.